I'd like to thank Tommy and all the guys and girls here for having me up again. We did this last year. It's a great opportunity for me to hang with everybody, get to meet some guys in person that I've talked to on the phone or online over the years that have been participating and buying the guitars, and now we get to hang out and talk about them and look at them. I worked at the Gibson custom shop in the late 80s until 94. In 92, I had the opportunity, I was asked by some higher ups at Gibson to think of something we needed to do for the market, and the natural thing for me was to get them to restructure the 59 reissue Les Paul, which as a player and aficionado I wasn't satisfied with, and I knew people had desires for it to be more accurate to the old specs. So they gave me that project. No raise or anything, but but I'll tell you what, I was so passionate and excited about it. I wasn't concerned about that. I was able to inspire them to change the neck profile, the way the necks fit into the body with a longer neck tenon, the shape of the body, the carving, the colors, the serial number, the logo, the pickup rings, the type of screws used, and it's very, very, very exciting, fulfilling. So that was online. I got a lot of compliments from my peers in the vintage market and vintage guitar shows, the NAMM show. So we were off and running with that. So by 94, when the custom shop grew to 20 or 30 employees and new management and expanded facilities, that was sort of the flagship guitar, the 59 Les Paul. We added the gold top guitars and various other things. Well, I left the custom shop in 1994 and started my own company called Guitar Preservation. The main integral part of my duties there was to help somebody restore their old guitar and maybe not look restored, especially if one part was changed and the other part was original. Nobody had ever tried to make a new finish look old. They just left it shiny, and it really disappointed anyone who viewed it because it was an indication the guitar had been altered. And I wasn't satisfied with that, and I'd had a little bit of experience experimenting with a small area on a vintage Firebird one time, and I thought, well, I'm going to expand on that. So almost every guitar I restored in 94, 95, 96 had some aging or some indication of age on it, be it a dullness, but especially artificial, or we'll call it implied weather checking. Lacquer gets brittle, of course, as it cures, and as wood expands and contracts, which it does virtually constantly on a guitar, the brittle, rigid lacquer won't move, and so it cracks. That's an integral part of vintage, the look of a vintage guitar. Well, I was able to, in my meager artistic ability and my desire to pull this off, able to simulate those cracks. I still do it the same way today with a Stanley utility blade, and it started in really it was only going to be in a small area, matching the existing area. I never intended to do a whole guitar. I couldn't imagine how you could do that and keep your sanity, really. But but as fate would have it, when people saw, like at guitar shows, that I had done a finish on a vintage guitar, they go, "Can you do that to a new one?" I said, "Okay." So I took my reissue Les Paul, stripped the entire finish off of it, put a vintage style finish, age treatment to the hardware with an acid bath and all that stuff, and just to put it on display, not to generate business, just to see what the reaction would be. And I showed it at Arlington Guitar Show in 1997 in October, and I spent all of 1998 aging Les Paul reissues for individuals and dealers.
Wow.
And I had to come up with a figure for the cost for that process in about 3 seconds. When at the show someone said, "How much? If I buy that guitar, will you do it?" And so a light bulb went off at that point. When a friend sold one for about $5,000 more than he had paid for it after paying me, I knew something was about to happen. Anyway, Gibson also heard about it, and they were present at some guitar shows. So we started discussing the possibility of doing it with them as an addition to their product line. And I honestly was skeptical, didn't think it would happen, but I was sort of getting a kick out of them asking about it. And it took an entire year. We started in 1999 with what we call the aged historic finish, and it included weather checking on the top and some dull hardware and some belt buckle wear and things that honestly many guys had been waiting for and really looking forward to. And then the artist concept entered. We did a project with Dickie Betts of the Allman Brothers to recapture the look of his old gold top. We did 3 guitars for the members of Lynyrd Skynyrd, but most notably Gary Rosington's original '59 Sunburst Les Paul, all the same belt buckle wear, the arm wear, and people really responded. And so that we expanded that. We did a Bob Marley replica with his estate, Dwayne Allman, and really most notably the Jimmy Page Les Paul, which was really fulfilling and fun. Each time these projects pop up, I wonder how we're going to do it. Gibson comes up with the ideas usually, and then I have to figure out how to get it done. But it's really been great, and hopefully fun for the consumers. Some of the stuff has gotten really crazy in price, and but I most enjoy people's appreciation of it and their love and their passion for the guitars, and hopefully my work also. So that leads us to now with Tommy, who's always been involved in the Gibson Custom Shop product line, the historic Les Pauls and the Carina stuff. And guys like him really keep this thing going. They have established great customer bases, guys who they know get the idea and understand the pricing of this stuff and have the same passion that we do for it. And what he's done now has come up with the idea that we expand the concept of the aging. General, if you'll see aged guitars on the wall here, they'll have a somewhat generic treatment because I have to do multiple pieces and I can't do each piece differently and have them just real sporadic. It looks like a guitar in good shape, but hopefully has an older patina look to the finish. But Tommy thinks we can expand that to a certain segment of the market, and he's trying to showcase my work, which I appreciate, and then give somebody an alternative. So we've come up with what is currently being called ultra aged. We didn't discuss it formally, but we're dabbling in it now, and we have one example. So we're going to show it now. This will soon be available from the Music Zoo exclusively. It's a more extreme version of what I do. This has extreme handwear, which you can see examples of that on vintage guitars. Now, this guitar would have been played a lot to do that, but it can happen. We're trying to pick something somewhere along the lines of something that will keep the beauty of the guitar and add this sort of cool played vibe to it. And there are actually different models, gold tops.
Yeah, we're doing the gold tops. We're doing from 54 all the way on.
Oh, 54 gold top.
60, so yeah.
And so we haven't discussed it yet, but a 54 gold top don't look like a 59 Sunburst. they
semantics.
React. Yeah. Whoa, hey. You just sit here and sell them, okay? I'm not the only person in the world that ages guitars. There are other individuals trying it, and there are other small companies that offer that treatment on guitar. And of course, Fender has had the Relic series for a long time, and it appeals to a certain part of the market and has a functionality. We'd like to think that you don't have to worry about your belt buckle with this guitar or leaning it against your amp. And it, like I said, it captures a spirit that it'd take a long time to do this to your guitar. We don't have that much time. None of us are going to spend the next 25 years playing our guitar. So I appreciate everybody's participating in it, and the guys who, like I said, show the passion for it, collect it, trade them. And we plan to keep doing it. Yeah. Thanks to guys like Tommy and you guys. So thanks for everything, and be looking for this stuff.